There were 7 finalists in the final round of informative speaking. In 7th place, from Morris Jacob O'Mara. In 6th place, from Marion Jasmine Jackson. In 5th place, from Fremd Renata Wetterman. In 4th place, from Nequa Valley, Saurav Patnaik. In 3rd place, from University High School in Normal, Audrey Keene. Your tournament runner-up in informative speaking is from Glenbrook South, Elizabeth Wu. And please, hold your applause. Let me announce each person's name and school so you can hear them clearly so they all get the wonderful accolades they deserve. So in 1st place, your tournament champion in informative speaking from Homewood Flossmoor, Donyae Lewis. And here's your state champion in informative speaking, Donyae Lewis.
Before I start this speech, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Donyae Lewis. I'm 16 years old, currently in my junior year in high school, and I'm also blind out of my right eye. I'm sorry. Let me explain that last part. I was born with a disease called glaucoma. The severity of this disease is what caused me to lose vision in my right eye. But I don't want you guys to think this is a pity party. Glaucoma actually has its perks. I don't have to use Scantrons on tests. I get all the notes in my classes before anyone else, and I get to use the Flash Pass at 6 Flags. So you know who to call. But the one thing that bugs me about having glaucoma is I always have that one friend that says, "You have glaucoma? That means you can smoke weed in California." The reason I get mad at this statement is because, one, drugs are for thugs. And the other reason is I'm disappointed that the only thing my friends can tie in with my disease is getting high. But it's not just my friends. In general, people in America don't understand glaucoma and its severity. According to the American Optometric Association, glaucoma is the 2nd leading cause of blindness in the U.S. What's even worse is this number is increasing. According to the American Health Assistance Foundation, globally 60.5 million had glaucoma in 2010. This number may increase to almost 80 million by 2020. With such a large number affected, let's explore this disease even further by first opening up your eyes to what glaucoma is, then viewing who it affects, and finally looking at the new advancements and treatments to this rare disease. So, what is glaucoma? Well, according to the National Institute of Health, or NIH website, glaucoma refers to a group of eye conditions that lead damage to the optic nerve. Damage to the optic nerve usually comes from increased eye pressure, also known as intraocular pressure, or for short, IOP. NIH goes on to say that the front part of the eye is filled with clear fluid called aqueous humor. Anything that slows or blocks the flow of this fluid causes pressure to build in the eye. If the pressure gets too high and damages the optic nerve dramatically, you can lose vision in that eye. However, the severity of glaucoma depends on what type you have. The previously mentioned source states that there are 4 types: chronic, acute, congenital, and secondary. Well, sounds more like geometry than a disease, right? Well, let me explain these types briefly. Chronic is the most common type of glaucoma. The problem with this type is that the cause is unknown and there are no symptoms. Therefore, it's hard to prevent and cure. The next type is acute. This occurs when there is a sudden block of fluid in the eye. Unlike chronic, which is painless and damages slowly, acute is quick and causes a painful rise in pressure of the eye. The next type we would discuss is the one I am diagnosed with, congenital. Now, this is usually seen in babies and is often inherited. The symptoms include enlargement of the eye, red eye, and sensitivity to light. See, that's why I can use the flash pass at Six Flags, because I can't stand in the sun long. At least that's what I tell them. And the last type is secondary. This occurs when there is any type of harm or injury to the eye. See, it's good to differentiate which glaucoma is which, because you never know when you might have it. So now that we have opened up our eyes to what glaucoma is, it's time to view who it affects. Wait a second, I just remembered I forgot to mention something in my intro. I'm black. But if we're being honest, I think I'm mixed because of my silky hair. But that's another story. Now, I just didn't bring up my race to spark up small talk with you guys. What people don't know about race is that it plays a major role in glaucoma. According to a KPLC TV news report, African Americans are 5 times more likely to contract the disease than Caucasians. Dr. William Hart, an ophthalmologist at the Heart Eye Center, goes on to say that African Americans are also 6 times more likely to go blind from glaucoma than Caucasians, simply because they're not getting their eye pressure checked frequently. But this mistake, it's common for all of us. Think about it. When is the last time you've gone to the eye doctor? Exactly. Investigators at Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis have found that oxygen levels may affect African Americans acquiring glaucoma. They found that oxygen levels are significantly higher in the eyes of African Americans with the disease than Caucasians. They suspect that more oxygen may damage the drainage system in the eye, causing pressure to build. This pressure damages the optic nerve, causing blindness. Now, this study is very interesting because it's the first physiologic link between race and glaucoma. But African Americans, let alone people, are not the only ones affected. I happen to have 2 little Shih Tzus at home. But my dogs have something very rare. Glaucoma! Can you believe that? Not only is it my brothers and I with the disease, but it's our dogs as well. Man, my mama sure know how to pick them. This is not as crazy as it seems, though. Glaucoma is actually found in man's best friend. According to Animal Eye Care's website, glaucoma is usually considered primary or secondary in animals. Primary glaucoma is found in many breeds, such as Cocker Spaniels, Chow Chows, and even little Shih Tzus. It's hard to determine if your dog has it or not, so the best way is to get their IOP checked by a vet. So now that we have viewed who glaucoma affects, black people, it's time to look at the new advancements and treatments to this rare disease. Now, from experience, I'm aware to all the first ways of treatment: drops, lasers, surgery. Having tried all 3 of these treatments and no progress, I'm searching for the new advancements that are being developed. According to an Australian Financial Review article titled "Taking the Pressure Off of Glaucoma," there are a new generation of stents and pipes that are being developed to help drain fluid into different pathways that direct it into deeper tissues in the eye. One of these stents has just been passed by the United States Food and Drug Administration. It was passed after a study showed that 68% of patients dropped to their target pressure a year after this stent was implanted. It's called the in-stent. But stents and pipes are not the only new advancements. Scientists at Washington University School of Medicine performed a study on mice and devised a treatment that prevents the optic nerve injury in glaucoma. This treatment deals with something we all are familiar with: stress. Jeffrey M. Gaudet, associate professor at Washington University, and others have shown that the right kinds of stress, such as exercise and low oxygen environments, induce a change in cells that make them more resistant to injury and harm. When scientists exposed mice to low oxygen environments repeatedly, they found that the stress of the environment produced a response called tolerance. This response made nerve cells in the eye less resistant to the optic nerve injury. Now, who would have thought that simple things such as stents, pipes, and even stress could help cure a rare disease? So, for all my friends out there who still think marijuana is the way to go when it comes to glaucoma, listen to this. The Glaucoma Research Foundation reported that while smoking marijuana does lower your eye pressure, it also lowers your blood pressure, which reduces the blood supply in the eye, damaging the optic nerve. So you're actually making the disease worse. As for me, I'm dealing with the disease pretty well, and I'm learning new things as the years go by. After opening up your eyes to what glaucoma is, viewing who it affects, and finally looking at the new advancements and treatments, hopefully you can understand why I see the world differently.